Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. Listen, respect is not something that you have to earn. It's not something that you have to claim. I'm going to say that again. Respect is not something that you have to earn. It's not something that you have to claim. Respect is something that you have to practice. It's something you have to demonstrate. This is a really important distinction because if you let people convince you that you have to earn their respect, you have to do something to claim your respect, they're going to manipulate you into doing stupid things and doing all kinds of tricks and never, ever, meet the standard or satisfy whatever criteria that they have. And let me explain to you what I mean by this. When I work with high performing people, let me rephrase that. All of my most successful students, clients, apprentices have been high performers, right? They're high performers. Like they say, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So the way they practice Ifa, the way they study, the way they adhere to the recipes that I give them, that's the way that they live their lives. These tend to be the people who they do the best. We make sacrifice, and they get the desired outcomes. They study the material and they get the desired outcomes, etc. But something that I realize that they all have in common is that they are high performers. And one of the attributes of these high performers is that they are the people who adhere to my instructions like 100%. They pay in full, they pay on time every single time. They give me constructive feedback. They clarify. They are totally engaged, however, in the process at every level. Okay. Conversely, the people who are the underperformers, who pay partial, who pay late, who don't pay at all, they're constantly complaining. They're constantly debating. They're constantly doubtful and unsure. And there's this constant uncertainty or something that they are requiring that I do something more. I do something more. Even though they haven't done the basics to even get the desired outcome, they're still requiring that I do more, that I reach a little further, that I dig a little deeper, that I explain a little bit more, right? This is something that is reminiscent of Tim Ferriss's read of the Pareto Law. The Pareto Law is the 80-20 law. Now, it's applied I think in engineering, and it has a one application, but Tim Ferriss had applied it to business to say that 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your client base. And that 20% of your client base are the ones who are high performer. They pay in full, on time, every time. They comply with the work, and they help you do your job better. Whereas the 80% of your client base are the ones who are, they require the most work and they actually give you the least output, right? And so he says, what you need to do is you need to create some systems that will relegate and separate these so that you're not dedicating an inordinate amount of time with the 80% of the people or the client base, but you're able to really focus on doing your best work with your already high performing clients who are really ready to start applying, the lessons and the principles. Right? And so let me tell you how this looks in a very simple way. When I talk about high performers, recognizing other high performers and why with those people, if you really organize yourself in such a way that you're able to spend the most time with them, you're going to see that, like we say, game recognized game. The high performers are going to recognize you. Okay. When my son was in high school, and this is my firstborn son. He's the golden boy. He is the one who is a high performer. In his mind, his position is the top. In his mind, he is the forerunner. That is how he sees himself and how he positions himself in life, right? So one day, we're at his younger brother's soccer game. And while we're at this soccer game, I was talking to one of the parents and her daughter. And so as we're talking, the daughter was a senior in high school, just like my son. And the mother starts to say how the daughter had a certain GPA and she had a certain number of units. And that's what it allowed her to win a certain scholarship and, something else. And I don't remember the details because it went right over my head. I didn't catch this detail. But my son right away, he had been pretty passive just watching, But as soon as she said that little bit of data, he said, wait, you said she has what GPA? And the mother repeated it. And he paused and he says, how is that possible? And the mother went on to say, oh, yeah, it's because she took AP Spanish for this number of years. My son goes, oh, okay, got it. She's like, and they both laughed, because it was a small detail. This is the only way that you could have this additional set of points. She had done something above and beyond. But what it revealed to me is that the extent to which, yes, people who are high performers, hey, when my son is in the presence of this girl, and this girl is in the presence of my son, they know if you're at this level, you have this level of a GPA, you've won this scholarship, you're enrolled at this university. It's a foregone conclusion that you are respectable. You don't have to go to do any tricks to prove that you are of a superior intellect. You don't have to start doing any kind of tricks. Now, of course, we might be doing some things to one up one another to really see, how much pepper you really have. How can you apply it, right? Everybody's trying to get pole position. But it is not a question of you having to earn your respect, right? It's understood. And so this is important when you are positioning yourself and you're determining how to assemble the people who are closest to you. You don't have to constantly prove yourself to people who are already practicing self-respect, who are already practicing professional respect, who are already practicing religious respect. For the ones who are already demonstrating these practices and these attributes, they're going to recognize one another. They're going to realize that the only way that you could be doing this is because you have reached a certain level of excellence. Okay? So do not allow yourself to be roped into these manipulative games by people who want to proclaim that you have to earn their respect. You do not. You practice respect and you demonstrate respect. And the other people who are also practicing respect and demonstrating respect will recognize you and they will treat you accordingly. Everyone else, you create some distance. It doesn't mean you burn bridges. It doesn't mean that you look down upon them, but it does mean that it's in your best interest to create distance between you and them so that you can focus on rubbing shoulders with other high performance people. And this is, as you know, a message for the leaders. I'm making a call out to the best and the brightest. If you're someone who's determined to improve the world through positive influence, I want you to find out how Obafemi, Origunwa, and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level. Visit me at obafemio.com or odishalifestyle.com. Let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odawa.